a blessed evening, and welcome to our program Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi. It is a Sunday evening. Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi show comes on Saturdays, 6 o'clock. So it's a special session for today. Some of you will remember that we were supposed to be with RIRHANDZU MASHAVA back in last year, but it could not happen because of some of the challenges that we have heard. But today we are going back to that and making sure that we're paying that installment. And I'm just so excited that all is going well today, and we'll be able to chat with RIRHANDZU MASHAVA. Without any waste of time, RIRHANDZU MASHAVA, she did a matric at Mondio High School, and then she did a BCom degree in transport economics with RAU, that is Rand University, Rand Afrikaans University, you remember. And then she did again a BCom honors in transport economics, that was 2003. And then a Master of Commerce in Business Management, specializing in transport and logistics management in 2018. And then she's been to several institutions, and she also was with School of Government and also the University of Lund in Sweden, where she did a diploma in innovation in public transportation. And today, beloved, we are so honored to have her, and a little bit about her work. She's a Deputy Director General in the Department of Transport, responsible on integrated transport planning. And then she has an extensive experience when it comes to transport, and she worked with a railway safety regulator as an executive, acting executive on risk and strategy, and then railway safety regulator, senior manager, strategic support, railway safety regulator, senior manager planning, railway safety regulator, senior manager safety permit, and administration and management, just to mention but a few. And beloved, it's so wonderful kuri namuntlha a hi va vulavuleli tanihi nhlolo RIRHANDZU ku va va kona exikarhi ka hina, va kona ku va hi bula na vona. RIRHANDZU, ni mi amukela ka nongonoko Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi. Good evening.
Good evening, Kensana Kurambiwa, and finally we can have show leya hi sungurile December.
Kunene show leyi fane yi hetisa swa fanela. And RIRHANDZU, thank you so very much for even honoring our invitation. It's really an honor to host you, because mintirho ya n'wina ya khutaza swinene. Sweswiwani hi vulavula hi back to school, ku nga timhaka leti ti ninginisaka tiko sweswi. Vana va tlhelela swikolweni, ku nga va ku ri aka ti-primary level, ku nga va ku ri ka ti-high school level, hambi eka university. So it's such a wonderful time to also motivate our children. And as a mother, because loko hi vulavula hi RIRHANDZU MASHAVA, i mhani, i nsati, and in'wana eka vatswari, and she's a professional, she's an academic. We just blessed to have her tonight. Kambe hi swintsongo RIRHANDZU, mi nga hi byela yini hi n'wina xana?
Yo, na Kensana Kambi, RIRHANDZU, and you correctly captured it. Ni n'wana eka vatswari va mina, and those that contributed in my growing up. I am a wife. I am a mother to 3 beautiful children, Unaina Kanani, na Usembekile. I'm a sister to my siblings. I'm an aunt to my nephews and nieces. The employee at the Department of Transport. I'm a friend to many. I'm a close confidant to some. So I wear a lot of caps. Yes. I wear a lot of caps. I think me cover extensively with my CV, with my background. So in a nutshell, I am a RIRHANDZU. I love life. I'm grateful to God for the grace upon my life. And until any of the things that were mentioned, I would have accomplished. And I don't take pride in anything, and I still say I am because He is in my life.
Sisirhandzu mi nga hi byela yini xitsongo mitswaro endyangwini wa ka Maluleke la mi kuleke koho tanihi ntombi and what are those things that you would love to share with us that explains and tells us of your childhood, ngopfungopfu ni ndyangu lowa ka Maluleke, your parents? What can you tell us about mani, papa na vamakwenu? Mi nga hi byela yini xana?
Okay, so ka ndyangu wa ka Maluleke ni kurise mani na papa. Mani va nga an educator. Papa a va ri very business minded. Unfortunately he passed on. Mara he played the most biggest role avuton'wini bya mina. I knew love from a father because of Bona. He was one person that would push to realize my dreams. I could do anything that I set my mind to. And even today when I walk, I still say I am my father's daughter. Because he was such an inspiration avuton'wini bya mina. Akaya before nina vabhuti vambirhi lavakulu, eve ku va mina and then ku va ndzisani ya mina ku nga tintswalo. We're a very close-knit family. I have very supportive siblings. And what I celebrate the most is kaya akuna ku wena because u hlayile accomplished this ta ku treat us so. Loko u fika kaya u va n'wana. Loko u fika kaya swa ku u DDG kumbe u CEO ya loko aspire sweswo swa hela. But even in growing up, I had a very good foundation, and that's why ni vuri loko a ni lo kurisa hi vatswari va mina ntsena. Ku na va Mantsongo, ku na vo Mamhulu, but loko ni sungula sub A foundation phase ya mina ni nghene a Nkowankowa a xikolweni xi va ku i Dududu. Ni kurisa hi Mantsongo wa mina va nga Grace Mushwana na Papa Age. So ni tshame na vona na ndyangu wa vona na vana va vona va nga vanharhu. So I have become one of every family that ni nghena ka yona, and that's why it remains important to acknowledge who our raising ndyangu wa ka n'wina ntsena, but you are raised by the nation. Hambi loko ni kha ni nghena xikolo ni nghena university, there's a lot of people lava nga contributed to education ya mina. I would not have been able to do this loko va nga contributanga financially, emotionally, and in different aspects. So I come from a God-fearing family and a very strong mother, very independent. I remember now before ni va na anything va ku u nge lavi ku tekiwa u nga ri na movha wa wena, u nge lavi ku endla so u nga ri na matimba ya ku ti endlela anything. So before u vona na yindlu lowu u yi navelaka u nga expect munhu un'wana ku ku endlela. U swi tiva na wena ku loko u vona yindlu ya 100 rand is because na wena u nga yi afford hi ndlela ya 100 rand. So I grew up with that independence. I cannot place my expectations ka munhu un'wana. What I aspire and what I would love, it's something lexi na mina nga kota ku contribute so that u nga be a burden to munhu un'wana. So that's the family I come from in a nutshell. Like I said, vo Mantsongo, they're very active avuton'wini bya mina. I remember na loko ni kuma ntirho at Department of Transport, I was so overwhelmed because I understood what did I get myself into. Ma vona loko mi apulayela ntirho mi twa nga ku hayi no teka ti-chance. And then I learned this job, and then ni nga stuck, okay, then what? Number one, it's a male-dominated industry. So ni nga feel like I'm from Mantsongo na ku until na ku number line for first day. So I had to lay a number of dresses. So that's why I'm saying it's not just my mother who's participating, but everyone. Gaia is a close-knit, a very close-knit family.
Wow, so wonderful. Maybe let's one papa ba tlange role ikulukumba na so smart vitana n'wana wa papa, which in most cases ingaku bana ba xisati bana ku attachment liya aka papa, daddy's girl. What can you say to fathers? You're a mother today, you're a wife. What can you say to fathers in when it comes to their relationship with their daughters, more especially taking from your experience, how Daddy impacted your life and influenced your life?
Sure, I think role level papa is very important. And going back to my experience, 40, sometimes I sworn guide. I had a very strict father with all the love abaratna rona ekamina. Was actually too big. He was very strict. Kaya loko ikula akurna manda ba ipfuna akaya. Mara va byela mani lavo tirha ku u nga n'wi hlantsweli please, u nga n'wi hlantsweli yunifomo, swakudya u nga n'wi swekeli, u nga n'wi ayineli, a dyondzi ku ti endlela. Loko va hlangana na wena va ku byela ku loko ba 6 o'clock u fanele va u vuyile endlwini. U nga swi twisisi, but loko u hlangana na vona hi 5 to 6 u kha u swi vona ku hambi u tsutsuma u nge fiki kaya. You know, it was that very hard. But so when I look back and I'm like, yo, there are so many things in kota ku ti endlela. I am not as boku never nera sambu ku anfuna ku endla yini, swi kota ku ti yimela. So in a nutshell, that role that papa itlangaku is to guide as well, to model the type of husband that the one-on-one anabela kukuba na yena. If you see that love, you hope to meet someone that reciprocated the same love that you had ekabana bawen. So that's what I had, and that's what I'm seeing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, Sister Randu, allow me just to take this little commercial break, and when we come back, itabariendo ya amahlweni hilang sa vutomi bya Sisi RIRHANDZU MASHAVA ntombi ya Mwanati kambe ai hundenila.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7. Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana. Loyi avulavulaka eka radio ya hina I manana Misaveni Elizabeth Maluleke. Mina ni tswariwe hi Nhlengani Mek wakandrovela, kasi mani wa mina I Megi Ramasela, vona va velekiwe ka Mangani. Mina ni mativula ku sala endyangwini wa vatswari va hina lava ni va hlayeke. Hi huma endhawini ya Pitiras, va papa va huma a tshama hansi. Laha hosi ya kona ku nga Maceke, va nga malume wa papa. Se va ta ku hala Joni, va ta tshama kona hikwalaho ka mintirho. Hi va vana va nhungu. Loko ni ku ni mativula ku sala I ku va famberiwe hi vana va vona vanharhu, mina ni nga si velekiwa. Hikwalaho mi twaku ku ni misaveni. Se nkarhi loko karhi wu famba ni sungula ku tirha ni dyondzisa, ni va head of department, ni va principal, ni va mukamberi, ivi ni gcina ni tirha aka Gauteng Department of Education. Hi ri part leyi a yi hlamula aka premier ya hina, yi ri political education advancement. Ku va hi languta ku swi famba njhani swa swikolo laha swi nga fambiki kahle hi lunghisa hi ku hatlisa ku nga ri tolo same time. Se vana na vona va kha va kona va ka Mwanati. Wo sungula a va ndhuna, vito ra yena I Shadrack, a nga buti aka ndyangu lowu wa ka Mwanati. Shadrack ndhuna Maluleke hi mhaka ku va thyiwe xivongo xa ka Huhlwani. Se va tsaneka ku n'wi vitana Hosi Huhlwani, va ku a vi ndhuna Huhlwani swi ta olova n'wana a kota ku hanya. Wa vumbirhi I wa xinuna na yena I Aubrey Nyiko Maluleke loyi sweswi a nga teka a nga na nsati va nga wisani na Nyeleti va makwavo va twa na mavito ya kona hi lama njhani. Ivi ku ta Rirhandzu a thyiwe hi papa wa yena ku a va Rirhandzu ri tekiwe a ka dlaya ka ku rirhandzu ra Xikwembu na tintswalo ta kona a swi hlangani swi tiyisa ivi va tshamisa sweswo ku tala tlhandlama ku rirhandzu a va tintswalo. Se rirhandzu na tintswalo ta hosi ti hlayisa ndyangu wa ka Wuhlwana. Sweswi ta vulavula hi rirhandzu Sharon Maluleke n'wana wa Misaveni na Prince. Loko xi velekiwa xirhandzwani a nga ri n'wana wo rhula swinene wo rhula. Loko a sungula a xikolweni a va vavisa ka sapi xi va vavisa xi tshama na xona mhanintsongo Grace Mshwana lava va tshama le Dzanini. Papa wa yena a swi lava ku sweswi a nga sungula swo saseka a vuyi mina ni ta swi vona. Se a vuyaku a kaya a sungula xikolo a Diepkloof a xikolweni lexi va nge i Giyani. Kambe hikuva se a ku pfuriwa swikolo swa lavo basa se a yisiwa ka swona a ya qhuva ya mahlweni. Kambe hikuva a ri n'wana wo rhula loyi a wu nga ta believe na ku u tshama a Joni a famba a ya nghena a Mondio High School a sungula grade Xichayindela Mn'wanati grade 7 Xichayindela 8 9 10 11 when she got to grade 12 wo khoma marhumbu hi kutani hikuva hi leswi a swi tsariwa maphepheni mihla ya kona kuma ku xi pase hi distinction ka matric. Se papa wa yena va navela ku khensa ku se sweswi ya nghena a xikolweni xa lavo basa a ku lavela xikolo edorobeni. A ku mina a ni ya nghena a ka xa lavo basa ni ya nghena na lava ku fana na mina vona hi vona va nga ta nghena laha ku nga na lava ntima. A fika a nghena a endla junior degree a yi ntlurhula BA. Lava va ti-lecturers ta yena va kombela ku papa wa yena Mr Prince Dlamani Maluleke va ta na vona va lava ku va vona va vulavula na vona. Se loko va vulavule na vona va ku a kombela ku n'wana wa n'wina loyi a mi n'wi tivi n'wina u tiva hi hina. Hi kombela ku a fambi a ya dyondzela transport hikuva aka transport vavasati a va kona. Se va ku ku yini a endla transport hikuva n'wana loyi mina ni lava ku a va dokodela mina ni lava a ya loyara ni lava yini ivi na yena a swi vona ku swi nge swi vuli ntsena ivi o nghena aka transport a ya dyondza honors a yi ba yi va honors hikunene. Ivi loko a hetile vona lecturer lava va n'wi kumela ntirho aka Department of Transport. Loko a nghena u love a nghena hi xiyimo xa le henhla a va deputy head ya le ka department yaleyo.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.
Kamse sweswo ni nga na ko Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi. Nghwazi ya hina matheme namuntlha i RIRHANDZU MASHAVA lava va nga a transport economist and she's a deputy she's a DDG, let me put it that way, Deputy Director General, and we just celebrate this great woman tonight. And thank you so very much, ladies. I see ladies joining in. Let's celebrate our own and let us also send our questions. If you would love to ask something from RIRHANDZU, you are welcome to post it right here on Facebook. We'll also live on YouTube. RIRHANDZU loko mi twa mhani va vulavula mudyondzisi xidziwa swi twa loko va vulavula ku ri ve le ku dyondziseni i ncini leswi taka emiehleketweni ya n'wina xana?
It's mixed emotions. Mama va, like I said, loko fika kaya va ku treat like a ku na nchumu different. But one time by excel, she sounds so proud. And it's unfortunate because I was because of so it's very nice for future basuvula and she sounds very proud and sounds like at least I bring pride nakutata eka vona. And like she said, ni munhu wa ku rula, so that time she kept it and that's also is another synthesize more than anything else. So yeah, I just got me emotions because na soko baranda stage baranda no vulavula swona swi nga ni tikisa hikuva loko mo ka mi nga va yimisi va ta vulavula va nga heti. So yeah, it's very nice hearing his speech.
So so that's just half of what she spoke. But it's so interesting kuva vatswari va kuma nkarhi wa ku vulavula na vana va vona va tinyungubyisa because migingiriko ya n'wina ku vula ntiyiso i reflection ya vona. Va vule swin'wana swa nkoka ku ri was it your lecture loyi a nga kumbe your teacher lava va nga vulavula timhaka ku ri despite ku navela ka vatswari ku va follow medicine, but you were advised to follow a transport economist as your career. What can you say about it? Because it's like you found yourself. It's like they really knew or they could tell that this is exactly who you are because your contribution in the transport sector is immense. What can you say about that advice and also the role of educators in sometimes advising us to see ourselves for who we are exactly?
It was my lecturer at that moment. And I remember loko hi fika xikolweni because va mi paseterile mi tele ni nghena tlilasini yin'we mi va mi tele va mi byela ku no out of 300 ta n'wina 200 after next week ta va yi nga ha ri kona 100 ta va yi drop out yini tano. But in my interactions na lecturer lowana va mi byela ku there's a new degree transport economics, and I think it was based on discussion ngava na yona na yena vulavula ku okay loko ta xikolweni u fika njhani ni vula ku okay ni khandziya taxi, what's your experience, are you passionate about transport, ni vula ku namuntlha futhi ni nyangatekile because ni nghene taxini ku ri na mhani lava a va loveriwile va mbalisa ntima and loko ni nghena ka taxi yaleyo ma-taxi driver ya va va humesa va ku no va fakela maphati. So as a result va byela mani lava ku va cheka, but because I was so happy na byela ku no mi nge chikisi munhu a taxi because a hakela hinkwerhu ma-taxi driver va byela ku ni ti endla nga ku la tiva ngopfu na mina va ni chicha na mina, so hi chika ivi hi famba hi lava alternative transport. So loko hi na that engagement va byela ku there's a new thing that's introduced, it's called transport economics. It looks like this would be your stream because you speak with so much passion. Try it and see if you like it. If you like run, you can always go back to the social. The field it's male dominated. It's balungu. Akuna ban bantema in that field. You can try and see. Ever impela loko ni impela nikuma kwa ni 12 to dominate abona lava vo bus. The ladies are very few, but ningene and I fell in love with it. And the reason I fell in love with it is because I wanted to make a contribution.
Yes.
Not just in my little community, but understand a difference in the country, a difference in the region, and in the world, have an impact to South Africans know what they are talking about. So that's why, and I'm forever grateful to Lecturer Loyo, because he took me through, for the next I went through all those stages. Local Department of Public Transport, University. We're looking for students that are doing well in your class. I found you a job. You found me a job. How? Because one year to reality, because this thing was very new to one.
Yes.
So what is this transport thing? I'm sure when I in their mind, I don't know what they're thinking was. abavula nchumu but baloni encourage kuyana mahlweni ukha but I went to the Department of Public Transport, Roads and Works, housing, and I then got given a very senior role as an entry, like never confused. Matalo soko about confused, no about bank account because I'm telling you bank account, yeah, man in Vanikayon. So those are the dynamics. But I'm very grateful I went to transport because I really do want to make a meaningful contribution to everyone. Abana pride. How change? Yes, there's I think it looks like it's baby steps, but I hope one day could have a change. Maybe maybe but vana vavona kumbe tanga ta yivona.
It's so amazing how you stepped out kombeta leswaku mina ku vitaniwa kumbe ku kumbeka in the area of transport loko mi fane mi yimela manani loyi a karhi a ridikuliwa ku ve ni u loveriwile mi kala mi humesiwa na yena. You know, Dr. Miles Monroe u tala ku vula leswaku the things that backs you the most, that disturbs you the most, might be exactly who you are, might be your call. And it's so interesting. Because hi vulavula sweswiwani vana va hina va ya at university ku hambanahambana ka tona. You'll pardon me, you know, it's so interesting to find somebody loyi a nga mutswari and loyi a nga eku chivirikeni. You want to ask almost everything. Kambe loko ha mi tlangela madembe namuntlha, what can you say to a young person who's going to varsity for the very first time? Yes, they've made their applications. They've also chosen their career path. Looking at your experience at varsity, looking at also it can also in a way demotivate or in a way challenge one to say, I want to be one of those who are going to be remaining in this particular course. What message would you love to say to our children at the higher institutions of learning?
So yo sungula eku loko munhu aya ka university ro sungula because hi va hi ri crowd ku fika laya u va influence munhu un'wana and it's not necessarily swona a wu lava ku swi endla but because u vona vanhu vo tala va ya kona u lava ku ya kona because u lava ku fita in but we should not be wanting to fit in and for mina even in ku languta ti-course leti u lava ku ti endla kumbe ti-degree hi nga endli lexi hi vonaku ku already ku tele and that's why sometimes it leads to unemployment because sometimes maybe hi hlaya xilo xa yi-one hi kha hi tele and there's only a space for so many people. Number two, i ku munhu a hlayi leswi a nga passionate about swona hambi wo fika lava ku za ku 300 kumbe yini and that's another duty that I had to, even though kaya a swi nga ri something that was popular but va nyike encouragement ya ku hambileswi hina hi nga swi tiviki hlaya u ya mahlweni hlaya tiyisisa hi ta vona loko se u kha u heta ku ta humelela yini and that's the advice I would love to give ka vatswari lava nga yingisela because maybe mutswari a swi navele ku yena a va doctor and sometimes vatswari sometimes va hi fakela pressure ku because vona va tsandzekile ku va xo karhi va expecta ku hina we fulfill their dreams that I feel it's something that hi faneleke hi nga xi endli as vatswari but hi tshika vana va hlaya leswi vona va swi navelaka swona because that is where they'll invest their full potential because loko munhu u n'wi phosela ku endla xo karhi u ta va se a xi endla ku tsakisa wena ivi loko heta kuma degree yaleyo a ku byela ku hi leyi certificate xa wena okay mina se ni ya endla swa mina that I think would not be fair because n'wana na n'wana u fanele a endla leswi a vonaka swi ta pfuna yena. So that's the advice that I would give.
Thank you, Sister RIRHANDZU. We really appreciate it. I see Papa Edgar Mshwana, but very proud of her. True, we are very proud of you, Sister RIRHANDZU. We really celebrate you. And like you said, it's a male, and you even said not only male, but white male-dominated industry. and hi leswi hi lavaka ku twisa hi nga ta lava ku nghenanyana ka swona hi twisa ku ri what is it about transport economist. But allow me now just to take this short break, and when we come back we'll be continuing Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi, Footprints of Legends, and thank you so very much for tuning in, and I trust that you are having a great time learning and also having a time to celebrate our own.
Mina Professor John Maluleke, Zina Doctor of Commerce degree in Transportation Economics, Yona Nigaikuma at University of South Africa. Research Yamina, ikongomele eka regulatory economics leyi nga hangunuxa swinene eka transport infrastructure. Kutani ndzi rhandza ku vula leswaku ndzi hlangane na N'wamaluleke ku nga yena Rirhandzu Mashava emasungulweni ya 2000. Enkarhini wolowo a tirha eka Department of Public Transport, Roads and Works as a principal transport economist. Eka nkarhi wolowo khampani ya mina ku nga Kutela Project a ku ri yona a yi seketele ngopfu Department ya Public Transport, Roads and Works eka tlhelo ra transport planning. Hi tirhisane swinene, yena a ri Provincial Department of Public Transport official, loko mina ni va seketela hi technical expertise eka swa vutleketli. Hi vile na ti-technical committees leti ti langutise swilo swa ku fana na modal integration strategies. N'wamaluleke a ku ri yena loyi a rhangele emahlweni technical team leyi a tirha na yona. Lexi xi ndzi tsakisaka swinene hi N'wamaluleke i ku ri a ri na matirhelo lamanene na ti-consultants leti a ti seketele Department of Public Transport. Mina loyi a ndzi sungule ku dyondza vudokodela eka vutleketli loko ndzi hlangana na Rirhandzu. Ndzi kote ku kuma swo tala eka mafambiselo bya mfumo hi ku tirhisana swinene na yena. Loko a ri karhi a tirha tano, a ri karhi a ri aku dyondzeni. Tidyondzo leti a ndzi va seketela ha tona entirhweni. Rirhandzu u tirhe tano ku fikela a kuma master's degree ya business management. Kutani a researcha swilo swakwe aka swa vutleketli ku nga transportation. Ndzi lava ku tshikelela mhaka ya ku ri swa n'wi fanela ku ri a va eka position leyi a nga aka yona. Ni khumbula tani loko va ni vutisa ku ri ti-weaknesses takwe ku nga va yini xana, ivi ni va hlamula ni ku if you want to keep Rirhandzu inspired and motivated at work, you need to ensure that there are no artificial barriers that will hinder vertical mobility.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Streaming 24/7. 24/7. Bold News Radio.
Africa, nakupenda sana. Oh, Africa, nakupenda sana.
Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi, Footprints of Legends, that's where you at. Thank you so very much. Ngibona mani Grace mchwana bakho ikhensa hosi hikuva nkateko eka ndyangu wa ka Ndlovela ni ndyangu wa ka Maluleke namuntlha na ndyangu wa ka Mashava. We are truly very proud of you, hosi a yi ku endle hi tintswalo ni ku lulama. I mhani Grace mchwana la Rirhandzu, loko mi twa Professor Maluleke va vulavula, for those of you mi tivaku Professor Tinyiko lava Professor John Maluleke, ni tsakisa na ku there's noise at the move. He's a professor in the line air transport. What
Yes.
what can you say about Prof. Malek? You know, when he told us about him pursuing his studies while working as a ticket examiner, not even given a holiday to go and write examinations, to prepare for examinations, but his passion was so amazing. What can you say, and what influence has he been to you as an academic and also as a Maluleke, of course?
Sure. Prof. Maluleke. Now we can Prof. because we're going to Maluleke. He's been such a great mentor. Kamina. Ever since Ntangana Bona. Eliswan teke sa kuba ba joni so tsala ka mina go be mina nka jonda so tsala ka bona I bona ba nga encourage na ku endla masters loko ni fanele ni hlaya masters ni nga swi na ku ni structure yini njhani but I think he's the one person never abusaku the most loko fanele ku va na anything na le ntirhweni I think everybody tlanga ku tlhariha ngopfu kasi hi vona loko ni kuma some assignment ni fanele vanhu ku kambe leswi ni endla njhani va na material wun'wana wo tarisa swin'wana so he's been such a great inspiration every time va ta fona ku a ni tirhweni va khome njhani and because I've known him since ni sungula career ya mina va tshamba kha va lava ku vona growth evuton'wini bya mina so in each and every job loko ni fikile va ta vutisa va khome njhani loko vula ku ai sweswi ni ni swi mastarile ni va ku no you need to find another job so he's that person every time va le ku trying ku ni lavela ti-opportunity ku no u nge tshami kwalani you need to be doing something a wu swi lavi ku lecture a wu swi lavi yini loko se ni ta kuma the last job ya le a transport he was part of my reference because he's so honest and open van fonela ku wa swa ku applyele ntirho okay ni ta ku kwendele ni reference so va tlhela va ku tsalela reference va ta ku rhumela ku do you think right now look but if that doesn't feel so fun about me then let's not alter anything but loko mo hlangana na vona even today mi vutisa ku ni need some help with transport va ta mi byela ku mina ni nge swi koti ku pfuna this person hi yena nga ta pfuna so he refers me to so many people loko ni ri na business na mi nge ve ni ri millionaire so swi loko ni lo ku hlweleni but he's such an inspiration I learned so much from bona I think the passion especially from a regional perspective it comes more from him because he's got such vast knowledge especially from Fasimela. So I celebrate him for being the person that he is in my life, and I appreciate him because aba focused on leswi u nga swona kumbe u nga hlaya swona. He calls on a random day ku no ano kutheka na vana na libon ku njhani. Loko no hi right va ku no okay nkhendzile leswi ni la kutheka swona. That's all. So he's always taking up but he's always pushing me. Lan twa ku nga ku mina se comfortable is like now you are too comfortable you need to shift. So yes, I really do appreciate him.
Wow. Wow, thanks so very much. It's so amazing. You know, it's just amazing. And since Randu Lokaya Amahlweni Irkari Ibula, Mitresnene aka railway safety regulator. You have occupied different positions. You're talking acting executive risk and strategy. You're talking senior manager strategic support. You're talking about senior manager planning. You talk of senior manager safety permit, administration management, all that, and the director safety regulations. This it's shows like transport it's male dominated, but you have been very busy at the portfolio at the positions. What are some of the things that you'd love to share with our listeners today and our viewers and also our students, because I must be honest. I want to hear from you, Kore. Are we doing well, most especially by Sati, getting into transport economist, even as Bashinuna, but looking at our African brothers and sisters? Are we really faring well? Is it the ratio, is it balancing, or is there still space for most of our children to venture into this particular field? And kambe ka re lang tsa gore mi nga hi byela yini hi mintirho ya n'wina aka railway safety regulator?
Okay. And that's sungulele transport. So transport, yeah, shorter. Then because abayitivi vanhu ni vona ngaku a hi vo tala lava yaku va lava ku dyondzela ku va transport economist, especially vavasati. There's still a lot of room leyi nga kota ku va accommodate, and I feel now we are more in demand than we ever have. Government and private sector. So kuna shift na movement ya kwenda the gender parity ku va na vavasati representation, not just at lower levels, but at the top management as well. So, and the thing that with transport, because transport inanguta it's road based, kuna switimela, kuna aviation leyi langutaku swa the aircraft, kuna maritime leyi langutaku swa skepe na swiyiniyini, and then kuna public transport. So loko mi tshame hlaya va mi exposure to all these elements of transport. But if person ya n'wina ku n'wina mi choose two, we are ka side ray. Somebody la nga hlaya na mina a nga va kumbexana a tikuma swana a karhi ka aviation a deala hi swa the airport na swiyiniyini. But mina stream lexi nga ni tsakisa it's mainly on public transport, on road transport, and everything is dealaku hi vanhu because a ni lava ku vona a better service delivery. And that's why even the role leyi ni nga ka yona sweswiwani yi vulavula hi integrated transport planning. So hina hi plana for ku integrate all these modes hi ti hlanganisa hinkwato. So na loko munhu o famba ya hlaya for transport economics, u ta va na choice ya ku yena leswi a vonaku swi ku n'wi tsakiseni. Kumbexana I mean loko mi languta swani ka maritime leya swikepe vavasati a va kona, a va kona, it's very very few. So na loko mo hi veka so as a transport economic community, I think I start na voko. So it's something they say, and I'm glad to bringing up. I advocate for vanhu va ya transport. N'wana n'wana loko ya ta xikona kai kuna course leya transport economics yi ringeti, because I've seen the opportunities leti nga kona, but because vanhu a va na qualification yaleyo a va koti ku applyela for mintirho yo karhi, especially leyi nga related to transport. So that's something that I would encourage someone ku aya hlayela transport. Two, aka railway safety regulator. Railway safety regulator sungule ku tirha ka yona hi 2004 loko ya ha ku formiwa as a regulator. So hina hi nga sungula systems and processes ka the whole organization. Even famba in 2006 because I'm easily bored. So the minute must start something cigar, then I feel very mundane. Even like move. So even ni famba, but then the one country a Department of Transport can oversee the railway safety regulator. Then one of the meetings that the then CEO ya rail safety regulator anikombela kunoma nikombela ubuya. But because I also had such a passion for railways at that time, they wanna come engineer and contribute. So that's how I got back. But I quickly realized no man, this thing I'm being zama to introduce something, I introduce and then I figure it out and I that's when there was the new the recently appointed CEO, Mr. Pohar. And I remember loko va joina, I was sitting at the back because ani a flamboyant personal of I'm always at the back. About how important it is to have a role model, someone that you can always look up to. And sitting I admired this lady. She comes off, and when the transport training was civil engineering, something to do with transport, and I really admired this lady. But because I'm so shy, I want you to be my role model because I feel what if but I secretly admired her and started learning from her at a distance. And maybe she also saw potential but there was a point in I feel I've now done enough this portfolio. I'm starting to apply from terrain one because I feel I've contributed enough. And that's when she was like, no, you'd rather come to Office Yamina and do the strategic support because I need someone who has knowledge economics to be there. So that's how I found myself nearing strategic support. And that strategic support then being exposed to these various roles. So a lot of my growth, RSR, and I'm also grateful for there was someone who saw potential in me. Yes. Exposure to the entire face of your organization, learn everything. And sometimes, and it's not sometimes, every time, as a stepping ladder, as a stepping stone for your next career move. And this lady exposed me to so much, to the extent that it was preparing me for this job that I currently am at. Had I not been exposed to that, I don't think I would have been able to go home. So RSR has built me, and there were a lot of times I think when RSR I was very shy. Slowly, confidence. No, now you're very confident. And I'm like, no, but it's like, no, you've grown. I see a fully grown person now. So she made a huge contribution, and it's only after that I told her, you know what, honestly, you are my role model. You are my mentor. You are the person that I identified secretly, but I did not want to tell you. So she was very humbled to have contributed to the person that I am.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Africa, nakupenda sana. Oh, Africa, nakupenda sana.
Wow. My wonderful listeners and viewers, thank you so very much for being with us. I must be honest, we're learning quite a lot from our sister RIRHANDZU MASHAVA. And xin'wana lexi mi tsakisaka hi xona hi lexi xa ku mi lava loko mi kala mi tiva ntirho swinene mi ri comfortable, mi lava something that is challenging, which I think helps one even within the organization to learn quite a lot of things like you did with RSR, and that's just amazing. Nipfumeleni look, we are Kongoma, inongonoko Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi. I'm your host, Pastor Strike, kasi inongonoko lo uba kona hi Mgqibela 6 o'clock na madam. We have today is just a special arrangement because we had an installment last year. I finally been assisted around the last year, December, and because of this challenge and that challenge, we could not. So we are making sure that we're paying it today, and I'm so grateful to have her with us, and she's such a blessing. I hear Butlaibon Bakure work, a great work, DDG. Your passion inspires us all to do more in our respective spheres of influence. Keep that fire burning. Very true. Just listening to you, Sister Randu, it tells us something. Hey, if I go and make an impact, we have to really brace ourselves up and make sure that we're making an impact, because loco nilaba kufamba, and then the authorities, no, please, I need you here, I need you there. They must not even try and even threaten the employer of them resigning, because hey, if they do that, the resignation will be processed so fast, and before you know what is happening, it's done, because you have been a burden. But when you are a blessing, man, that assures you of being an asset in an organization.
My name is Tsepo Kari. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Railway Safety Regulator. I met RIRHANDZU in 2015 when I joined RSR as the Chief Operations Officer, and RIRHANDZU worked for the Department of Transport as Senior Manager for Regulations. She later, in that year, joined the Railway Safety Regulator as Senior Manager for Permits, and this gave me a further opportunity to work with her maybe a little bit closer than I had in the past. During that time, I observed RIRHANDZU's very strong analytical capabilities. I credit her background as an economist in this, but RIRHANDZU is also a logical thinker and a very diligent worker, which I really admired in her. She discharged her responsibilities, notwithstanding some of the limitations that would exist and some of the challenges she faced, but she showed up in that role as a professional, and I thought that was really important for the RSR. I later became the acting CEO of the Railway Safety Regulator, and at that time, RIRHANDZU was transferred to the office of the CEO as Senior Manager for Strategy Development and Office Support. In this responsibility, though a very new environment for RIRHANDZU, she demonstrated yet again her commitment to her work, her ability to learn and adapt to new environments, which is something I think she did very well. But what I think was most important for me in her performing this function was how she brought her analytical capability into the role, her strong research skills, and her ability to influence the policy directions that the organization was taking, the strategic direction that the organization wanted to make, and the very big contributions she would make in various aspects of the strategic development process. She later moved to the Department of Transport as the DDG for Integrated Planning. Again, I think this is an amazing role to have a person like RIRHANDZU in. She, given her broad understanding of the transport sector, I hope and pray, and I know that this is her wish too, to impact the transport sector in a positive way, to improve the levels of integration in order to ensure that we have a safe and reliable transport system. I have also seen her develop as a leader. She has become very mature as a leader. She leads with integrity and she's very assertive. And I just like, having watched her, see how she pays a lot of attention to how she shows up as a leader. Most importantly, her commitment to how she really wants to shape this position that she currently occupies as DDG. Having worked with her for the number of years that I have, I've really enjoyed watching her grow into a consummate professional, and as I say, into a very strong leader that I think she is becoming and has become over the last couple of years. I therefore look forward to seeing her grow even more, develop further, and move from strength to strength in the role that she's playing currently at the Department of Transport, but just generally as a person. I also know that Randzo is very committed to her family, and she really is a wonderful person to be around. She's got quite a great sense of humor, by the way, even though she doesn't look like it. And I really enjoyed the time, and I feel blessed to have had the opportunity to work with Randzo during the time that she worked with us at RSR, and I hope we continue to work together in the sector. Thank you.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7. Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika, nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika, nakupenda sana.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. And wow, that was a mouthful. and Randu, look me to CEO Babalabula. What comes to your mind? And as she reflects to all that, and says she's got a sense of humor, but even though she does not look like it. What can you say about what Ms. Nare has just said? Ms. Hare, so to say.
I think everything is not as vula. It is as vula na mina discover ni perform ni ba contacted. So she has been very inspirational. The humor part, I still am not sure about that. But every time there's no one, and yeah. So maybe that's a card I never knew about myself. But this is the lady that saw me grow because I so much wanted to mirror that which she was doing. The great driver of that organization. So I can say a lot. But, RSR had the most profound people. I think to mention one is Papa Mavila. He was there the entire time, and he made it so easy. It's like environment local and would deal about funny things because so I really enjoyed that. I actually look forward to it because in that unitary resistance strategy so even the transition, he made it very easy because we get higher and he helped me with the rules. This is what to do, and very supportive. And it's amazing how Bandlavakulu, when they want to assist a young person to learn, it makes it so much easier because kotala Bandlavakulu abahlabe kushare knowledge nayo. Lokubusa shokaros zakho namakhaleni fikela. But he was never like that.
Yes.
Every time it's like anything you need help with. So I was surrounded, but I think I blessed in surrounded with the greatest people. That's why I can never claim anything. I gain everything that I am is everyone. Obviously God first, but I believe Skombushi was very clear as centerpieces around me to see me through.
Wow, that's awesome. I would love to say to you, my dear listeners, hi Minkondzo Tinghwazi, and you're watching Minkondzo Tinghwazi. That's Footprints of Legends, the legacy. And may I also say this program runs at least the minimum 1 hour 30 minutes, because we're taking a journey with our guest. And I trust that you're learning something. I trust that you are being inspired also. And we take this time to give our sister her flowers while she can still smell them. You know, somebody said after we had had a program, and they said, you know what, you just gave me my memorial service. And because many a time it's not common, common where we give people feedback, you know, in a relaxed atmosphere, where we celebrate them, where we tell them what they mean to us, what their contribution and all that. And the program seeks to do exactly that. And that is why, Sis Randu, we cannot appreciate you enough for also giving us this time to celebrate you, because I always said, even when I was still with the SABC, that the most important people in my program are my guests, because so we really appreciate you for taking your time and sharing your life with us. And I just want us to take this, and then because I want to wind up so that by at least 7:30 we are able to close our program and make sure that we have celebrated you. But allow me to take this contributor.
My name is Magezi Stendi Kosa. I came to know Rando MASHAVA when she came to work at the Railway Safety Regulator, RSR, in the years back, 2006. Our office was situated in Broma Lake in the Engineering Council of South Africa, building in Gauteng. Since that, the office was predominantly populated by African employees of not mostly Tsonga-speaking individuals. When Rizando arrived at RSR, I was inquisitive to know where she came from. I could quickly pick it up that she was a Tsonga lady. We started chatting where I established a Tsonga originality, that is Mutopi, Maluleke, Mayeke, married at MASHAVA, Shiluma, Nemkar. She demonstrated not to shy to speak her language in the midst of other ethnic groups. Wherever we met and greet one another, we did all this proudly in our Tsonga language. She was a senior regulation manager where the railway standards and the regulations of state railway operations were developed. Over and above that, she was responsible for issuing of safety licenses to railway operators, including the Southern Railways. He moved for a year or two to work at Trasa, long-distance passenger bus services, as a head of logistics. He also worked as a director at the National Department of Transport. He displayed her skills in transport very well. He's very proud of her ethnicity and very proud to speak and show it off that she's Tsonga Shangaan woman. She's currently the DDG of the National Department of Transport. She is responsible for national transport planning, where all the integrated transport of sea, air, and land are done. And she is the one who is close to the minister. If the DG is not there, she is the one who does that. I'm proud of Rando MASHAVA, and she is a very athletic woman and cool and collected. Thank you very much.
Wow. Sisi Randi, loko mi twa tatana Stanley Khosa va vulavula former colleague ya n'wina ncini leswi taka emiehleketweni ya n'wina xa?
So I'm so humbled. I concur with your previous guest, which looks like a like a memorial of some sort. So I'm so humbled. Sure, Papa Khosa. I still have cats navona. Papa Khosa bakulu. And he correctly stated Kuntangana Bona in 2006. And he's very right about my proud my proudness, if that word exists. Ekuba Mtsonga. Everywhere la niyakona, irrespective kuna man So that's where we connected, and I saw him as a father figure, because every time are very concerned about my well-being, concerned ku vanhu lava nga ku karhati lava vanhu lava nga ku hluphi loko va ku hlupha u to ta ni hlamusela and impela man I took advantage of that loko ni va na ti-problem va byela ke papa khosa ni kombela hi famba ni misa out for lunch ni kha ni swa ku na mali loko hi fika hi byela swa ku va ku phela n'wana wa mina wena na ku hakelela so we still maintain that relationship and so I'm really humbled. I honestly have no right words to say except I'm truly humbled.
Wow. Thank you so very much. Sister Randu, we again, to be honest, you recently acquired a diploma in one of the Scandinavian countries. Will you share, please share more light on innovation in public transport program, just a little bit to share with us?
Okay, so I think I need to point out for this program, it was advertised Pepin, and I'm surrounded by a lot of friends that want to, we encourage each other. We ever greater and greater. And a friend of mine, Bange Imulepa, called me after Mina. I saw something on the paper. I think this would be right for you. Apply and see. It's a sponsored program. If you get in, good. If you don't, you don't. I applied, and in Pella, I was interviewed, and I was taken into this program. This program was such an eye opener in the sense that we realize as a country or as a first world African country, that's what we call ourselves. It's something called climate change, and this climate change impacts a lot. And transport sector is the biggest emitter. Gas emissions. So we need to reduce that to zero, and do that it kind of affects the mitiro yavan. So in that program, we learned a lot about how you can still provide transport in an innovative way. Kubanati electric vehicles, kubanati these drones, the flying instead of kubana munwai one and then come over, we do a carpooling system. Instead of kukushabwa tiketi you do something similar like how trainer could be low damali and you're able to use that. So there's a lot that our country aspires to get to, and there is a new question because these first world countries already as it relates to this innovation. But from a Department of Transport perspective, you're going to develop the regulations or policies to shape that. By the time these things come into being, these things are also so insane. And it made me realize we are a very reactive country. I proactive in anything. And that's why, for me, it's very, as correctly pointed out by CEO RSR, I love research. For me now is to find out so that we try to implement that so that we are on par. A dumping site, because the minute say adopt for the electric cars, move forward. And what does it mean for him? It means a dumping site for Bona, because Bona they will be processing and proceeding forward with other great things. So that's what I learned, and I hope in my time at transport I can help shape and help us to be more proactive than more reactive.
Wow. That's powerful. La Africa, Asia, Kufamba Mlenge is considered as one of the modes of transport. What are we doing to enhance pedestrian safety in South Africa?
So I'm glad you asked that question. So there was something called a National Household Travel Survey. And this survey, it depicted movement as it relates to MOVA, bus, and the ridership. And post-COVID, yevonile ku vanhu because kuve na mintirho yo tala leyi nga hungutiwa, vanhu preferred ku famba hi milenge. And as a result, around the Gauteng area, there's a lot of sidewalk bridges or pedestrian lanes, the cycling lanes. So we are already moving in that path. It's unfortunate some of the things we'd like to see implemented, but because it needs to transform our mind, because of the rona, kuna mugging, kuna kulokha ufamba ufika ukokerwa xipesa xa wena loko a ri phone ufika so we are not a safe culture yet. But the minute we transform the mind, that everybody we will be on that path. And one of the cities that I see Yingatano already, Lokumoya Cape Town, they are able to walk because it's the tourist. They've already created that. Apitori, they also get into that mode. And at Johannesburg, obviously, there's a lot of transformation that needs to happen. But already, we are already there now.
Oh, that's good news. And then let me just come home before I leave your professional and career life and come home. Kambe, I just want to ask, what are the key performance areas of Deputy Director General?
Sure. So one of them it's strategic leadership.
Yes.
Part of the core competencies that one. But because Minandeka integrated transport planning is to ensure the integration of all the modes of transport.
Oh yes.
Ensuring the seamless movement.
Yes.
Kuloko michika abazin. Mengati kumi kami famba distance kumyafika at taxi. Everything should be in one hub. Mitirisa ticket rin'we kukhandziya lexi ku va choice ya n'wina ku mina ku khandziya yini mi cheka yini. And also to try to reduce the duplication. I think mi ta ni swi vonile ko tala hala Gauteng mi ta kuma ku bazi na stimela swi subsidized. And then ku va na thekisi as well. They are all gunning for the same commuter.
Oh yes.
Mi kuma ku swi yime hi nkarhi wa one. And then vanhu va prefer taxi because yona yi hatlisaka. Leswi swa yi ku nga stimela na bazi, they are subsidized ku munhu la khandziyaka a hakela a lower fare. But I used to read. So what then does it mean? It means the government fiscals give a waste in a way because as look the rain. So it's to try to rationalize this system. Kubana preference if ku stimulus, aku be stimulus then.
Okay.
If kuba base, aku ba base. Mara taxi must take a rightful place. Kuba a feeder, kuba late to like a starting and end point. We have to take you pick it up as teaching. Ukanda so ukanda sona. You could see you got to fix a gating now tamakot. So one of the key performance areas is that there's something also called a district development model. I'm not sure if so yale iku make sure ku kufana Limpopo you are well developed. Kungabina daole ba could develop better than the other.
Oh yes.
Everything if I never standardized so that everybody akota ku enjoy the benefits. I kumina ntame a Cape Town, then the benefits are not better. Namun langa le kaya ufana ngati kumaka okay akaya ko ba bus tsana le mona fana ka nyikwa kwa. So we're trying to stabilize and standardize everything so that equal. Everyone have an equal opportunity at the end of the day. The economy is one akota kufika akota kulava ntiro, not ikuinkweni tumela Gauteng kuitala ntiro, but kubana something even in rural areas to create that economy and to create employment and to generate money.
Wow.
So those are some of the things.
Sister Randu, thank you so very much. And on a lighter note, even though this is also serious, you seem to be very busy, Sister Randu. In Tiro, Itidonzo, Matravela, Alamimani, and Misati. How do you balance all this? How do you put it all together?
I think, we need a good support system.
Oh, yes.
I know masao ba re kona go nka bana ba ena and a ne na stress mane ba phone go tsheka go ba so even in my absence go ba go rena mono but honestly go ba mono wa statement and that's why I need to keep up busy so much because I'm not in anything but I've raised Vana to be adaptable to anything.
Oh, yes.
So, in anything they can easily be posted. And my sibling knows which is to jump in at that moment. Money, something she needs to be ready and available. Sometimes but she gets there. So my support structure is very good.
Yes.
And that's why I'm able to function. And I always want to balance my work and my personal life very well. Gap, I still invest so much time kubana bana bangena skolo banda to homework and I'm present as a mother. It's unfortunate most of the time I'm traveling but at least we're not the trade off okay look farmer or fanuviana sugar. So yeah, at least we've taken a balance. So but all in all it's very important to have a good a balance and a very good support structure.
Wow.
Because it takes a whole nation to bring up this entire family and everyone.
Thank you, Sister Randu. I hint and healer.
Riperile Muhashi, ni rhandza ku khensa eka nkarhi lowu mi nga hi nyika wona. Ni tlhela ni khensa ni vayingiseri tlhelo vahlaleri va nongonoko wa Minkondzo ya Tinghwazi eka nkarhi lowu mi nga hi lomba wona ku ri hi ta mi byela hi ta sisi Rirhandzu Mashava. Vito ra mina hi mina Chuchekani, van'wani va ni tiva ku hi mina Laipon wa ka Mashava eka Bongeni ya Basana. Ni hlanganile na Rirhandzu hi lembe ra 2002 kwala Joni loko ha pfa hi yima ha ri majaha hi ti lavela tintombi. Nona loko ni hlangana na vona ni namba ni vona vonge hayi mani onge va ta wisa ku ya ka mati na ku sindza na ku sweka na hinkwaswo ivi ni namba ni veka mambirhi manharhu na ku gangisa futhi a swi nga ha pfuki leswi a ni nyanyukise xiswona. Ni lo namba ni ku loko ni kuma nkarhi wo vulavula na vona ni ku mina ni munhu loyi ni kumekaka a tiyimiserile hi mhaka yo aka ndyangu n'wana sisi Rirhandzu. Se swi nga leswi a ni teki n'wina mi swi vonisa ku yini kambe ni serious hi mhaka leya ku hi nga kumeka hi kha hi sungula ndyangu. Swi lo teka masiku mambirhi manharhu ivi va vuya na vona ni swi vona vonge hayi moya wo bela kona hambileswi va nga ni vekangi ku rivaleni hi ku va pfumela kumbe va kaneta mara hayi nambe ni swi vona ku ni wanga ku a swa ha swi lava ku ni vutisa swo tala. Hi vuyi hi sungula xindyangwani xa hina malembe manharhu endzhaku ka loko hi hlanganile hi lembe ra 2005 laha hi nga katekisiwa hi vana vanharhu ku nga jaha u na hina na tintombi timbirhi Khanani na u Tshembekile. Ni nga ku yini hi Rirhandzu. Rirhandzu hi masiku loko ni lava ku va pfuka loko vo tshika va ti tshamerile kahle ni va vitana n'wadlamani kumbe n'waprince ku nga mavito ya papa. I munhu wa rirhandzu ku ya hi loko na vito ra vona ri hlamusela. I munhu wa ku rhandza vanhu va rhandza ndyangu wa vona va rhandza maxaka vatirhikulobye hambi mani na mani loyi a kumekaka a ri kusuhi na vona. I munhu wa rirhandzu leriya ra ku loko u nga swi tivi kahle u nga za u va na jealousy ya ku hleketa onge va rhandza van'wana ku tlula wena. Kambe loko a ri mina se ni toloverile. Loko swi ta hala ka timhaka ta tidyondzo ni swa ntirho, rirhandzu i munhu wa ku tirha hi ku tiyimisela swinene. Andlwini ku tele tibuku, hinkwako lava kumekaka va ri kona ku na tibuku. Na vana va dyondzisiwa ku hlaya tibuku, hambiloko u nga swi lavi u ta ka u hlaya. I munhu wa ku tirha hi ku tiyimisela aka hinkwaswo leswi va swi endlaku. Ni vula na loko va ri kwale ka bungeni va vhakeli, i munhu wa ku korhoka hi ku tiyimisela leriya ro loko wo ka u nga swi tivi ku va ke va hlometela na le nyangweni wa xikolo, u nga va hundza va tekela hansi. Leswi hlamuselaka swo tala mayelana na ku titsongahata ka vona, i munhu wa ku titsongahata swinene ene i munhu wa tintswalo. Loko ku ri na vanhu i vona va rhangelelaku ku tlhogomela van'wana vanhu. So swi tele leswi ni nga swi vulaka mayelana na vona, kambe ni rhandza ku khensa titswalo ta Xikwembu loko ni hlangane na vona, loko ni vi na nkateko wa ku va ni hanya na vona na ku aka ndyangu na vona. I munhu wo vevuka swinene, a hi munhu wa complicated, mara i munhu loyi a ti rhandzaku, munhu wa ku rhandza ku basa ni ku bomba ni hinkwaswo swi fambelanaka ni vamanana va ximanguva lawa. Xin'wana ni nga tlhela ku ni xi vula hi vona tanihi Bazila ni nga ku hi ku ya hi mavekelo ya ririmi ra xilungu, Sesi Rirhandzu i munhu loyi a nga na a very strong commitment to everything that she does, from her work, from ntirho wa vona entirhweni a kaya hinkwaswo. Xin'wana na xin'wana lexi va xi endlaka va xi endla hi ku hetiseka. So ni nga ku yini ka n'wina DDG, na mi rhandza na khensa ku va hi fambisana ndlela leyi yo leha. Na swi tiva ku nkarhi wun'wani yi pfa yi va na swimintwani na swikhutu na swin'wana na swin'wana, kambe na khensa ku ri ma vevuka ku mi rhandza, and ni khongela leswaku Xikwembu xi nga hi hlayisa, xi hi engetela masiku ya vutomi leswaku hi ya mahlweni hi khomisana. Na tlhela ni tiyisisa nakambe ni ku na mi rhandza swinene, ni mi rhandza hi moya na ntiyiso. Hlayisekani, Xikwembu xi mi katekisa eka ntirho wa n'wina. Inkomu.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Streaming 24/7. 24/7. Gold News Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.
Sesi Rirhandzu, loko mi twa njhinga ya n'wi yi vulavula i ncini leswi taka emisaveni ya n'wina? Loko a hi ri na nkarhi a ni ta fanga no tlhelela ndzhaku ni endla leya ya reception, ma leya ya reception ya ku mi yi hlangane kwini, a ni ta sungula hi yona, kambe mo hi byela leswi vulaka ku swi vula na leswi vulaka ku byela jaha ra n'wina Butla hi vona.
No, ni nga ku na ni kahle ku va hlangana na munhu wa supportive, ku fana na Libon, na vanhu vo tala around me, and wa va accepta. I don't think it's easy for yena ku ni tshama ni nga ri kona, but loko ni kha ni ya hala na hala, like I had previously mentioned, ku a ni stress vana, because na swi tiva ku they are in safe hands, to the extent ya ku na nampundzu in the business of my life, na loko ni kha ni fokota tela ni ta va yisa vana xikolweni. Sometimes ni endla na ti-appointment ta doctor no tsala message ku n'wana u fana va ri kwihi. So he's a very present father, he's a very present partner, very supportive. So I truly appreciate him, and I'm grateful for Vansangan na yena, and he's my biggest cheerleader. Sometimes I'm quite because when finally the presentation, he's the biggest critique. To the extent I wouldn't decide because one and I love no to bounce off here because sometimes I can see sometimes the news also and get the transport I went. So only for to criticize us. So, but yeah, he is my biggest critic and my biggest cheerleader. So yeah, yes.
That's wonderful. It's amazing. Loko ilansaka relationship ya nuna na nsati. A swi na mhaka ku ri nsati u endle yini kumbe nuna u endle yini. Loko u vutisa nsati ku ri leswi ke advice leti nga ta ti kuma ta vutisa kahle i mani. But that's the beauty of a family. Let's also take this.
My name is Unayana MASHAVA. My mom is RIRHANDZU MASHAVA. My mom is a nice, kind person who really loves children and everyone around her. I really like how she forgives us so easily, even if we do like the worst thing ever. She forgives us and still loves us like none of those things even happened. I also like how she always wants to make sure that we're okay first before she's comfortable. Currently I'm 16 and I'd just like to say, Ma, you've done a good job with your 3 children. We are so proud of you for raising us with Dad at all the things you've both done for us. For me personally, I know that every time she travels, she brings me nice shoes. And I'm really grateful for that. And I like how she always takes us to church. Like, as children, church is so important for you. Like, that's where your relationship with God really starts to grow. And she's made sure that we all have a relationship with God. So, some words of kindness. We are so proud of you for everything you've accomplished this year and will accomplish. And we love you so, so much. Thank you.
Hi, Mom. This is Kani. I just wanted to let you know that you do so much for everyone with a smile, and I've learned to stay optimistic and hopeful in any difficult situation from your strength and courage. Mama, you are the strongest woman I know, and even though we bicker around sometimes, you always listen to my point of view and understand my perspective without any judgment. You have taught me to be kind and respectful of everyone's opinions and ideas. You are the greatest mother, and I must say, the best cook in the world. Whatever good I am, all the good in me people speak of is because of you. I owe everything to you. Any action I take, I always think of making you proud of me. Thanks so much for instilling such strong values in me. It is my honor and privilege to be born to a mother like you. I love you so much, Mommy. Stay shining. Much love, Kani.
My name is Ote, and my favorite thing about my mom is that she's very kind, funny, pretty, and supportive. What I like about her the most is that she is very helpful and always puts a smile on my face when I'm sad. My mom is a very kind-hearted person and always puts others' needs before hers. Mom, thank you for caring for us and bringing us joy whenever we need it. You always make sure that we are okay and always help us with our homework. Mom, thank you for always being there for us. Bye, Mom. Love you.
Wow, it's 3 minutes after 7:30, and but I just want to hear from you, Sister Randu, when you hear your son, your 2 daughters, reflecting and giving you the feedback as a mom. That when you go, you must make sure that you bring something. What can you say to your children as we close the show tonight, and appreciate you for making yourself available for this 1 hour, 30 minutes, and share your life story with us as we celebrate you, Sister Randu?
Sure. I think for the first time in the show, Vanavamena brought tears to my eyes. And I'm blessed kubatamba kawasubula. Every day lokafuka, Mom will love you, Mom will appreciate you. But everything that you end up is for them. And they are right. I put them first in every little thing. And I'm very proud to be Manuabona. And hence I said was very adaptable. And we've tried to raise our kids in a very respectable manner. There is no room yaku utabana pride. There is no room yaku you think you're better than one. So I really appreciate them. Yeah, they make me very emotional. But yeah, I'm very. Yeah, no, I am a very proud mother.
Sisi Randu, time fails us. We still have more contributors, friends that also came through to celebrate you. But from Minkondzo Tinghwazi, the legacy, I just want to say thank you so very much for giving us this time just to celebrate you, to give you your flowers while you still can smell them, and want you to know that your contribution in our nation I mate ahasika bloho yabonaka ikhensa swinene, and the mother that you are, like you say, the wife that you are, we just want to appreciate you, celebrate you in the year 2023, January the 15th, and say Sisirandu hakunene mingwazi, and may God bless you. May you continue spreading your wings and fly and make South Africa a better place, more especially local alongside aka sector air transportation. We need wonderful and lovely transportation systems, and xin'wana lexi ku vula ntiyiso xi concernaka swinene i timhaka ta leswi swi endlekaka. Minkarhi yin'wana hi ta kombela ku va na n'wina, but you know what we have gravitated to, more especially in cases of accidents where you find loko kuwa movha vanhu va tsutsumela va luta. And I think that also makes us so much in danger. Somebody told me some years back that in the Middle East, if something explodes, people run away from that direction of the sound. But in South Africa, when something explodes, we run toward that particular direction, which will endanger our lives one day. Sisi Randu, we love you, we appreciate you. Tani Minkondzo Tinghwazi. This is Bold Moves Radio, coming to us live, streaming on YouTube and also on Facebook, and also just online. We just want to say thank you, Sisi Randu.
Thanks for the opportunity, and thank you for featuring on your show.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Randu. There's a lot less I thought I valable so na kambe yo inkaba banga hate sinyingi mintirho yangu na ikulukumba. Mintirho yangu na ikulukumba, ene vanhu va tele lava va lava ku vulavula va hlamusela hi migingiriko ya n'wina. Nkarhi wo hi tsandeka kambe hi lava ku khensa swinene. And to all my viewers and listeners, thank you so very much. Minkondzo Tinghwazi, the legacy. It's aired on Saturday, 6 o'clock, every Saturday, 6 o'clock. And join us as we celebrate our own, and as we celebrate you too, even as our listener and our viewer, because you are a legend in some field, and we'll hook up with you and celebrate you. As for now, I want to say thank you so very much to Sisi Randu, to Butlibon. Thank you for giving us this time. Thank you so very much to all my viewers, my listeners. Until I meet you next time, thank you so very much. We are going to be having quite a number of programs. Tuesday, there's a new program that we are going to introduce. Thursday, there's a program that we're going to introduce, but we'll keep you posted. Thank you so